Hello there YouTube, this is Johnaget with the Walk-Ons, and I thought it would be nice to put together a short video of how to maintain your Mini after a day of play. I've been using my Mini here for quite some time, and I've gotten really used to it, and I really enjoy it a lot. And I know that a lot of the new guys, that might pick one up, they might not be sure what they should do after a day of play, so we're just going to cover the real basic maintenance, what you should do when you're all saddled up and you're head on home. So it's really simple. You don't really need much to maintain your marker. A nice clean cloth. I like to use the microfiber cloths just because they're lint free and really nice, and they seem to clean things really easily. Barrel swab of some kind. I like to use a slick honey grease when I maintain my my Mini. Some of the guys swear by the Dow 33 and things like that. I'm pretty sure that's what's recommended for the Mini. I just prefer the slick honey. It seems like it's a little bit just a little bit stickier, and it's pretty good for poppet valve guns. And it's nice and smooth. Very you can feel it in your hands a little bit. It goes a really long way. So to start, you take off your barrel and grab yourself an Allen key set. You'll need a 1/8 inch Allen wrench to do your basic maintenance on the Mini. And you're just gonna flip it over here, and you're gonna take this screw on the back here, and just gently you're gonna pull that loose, take that out. Set it aside. You want to hold your back cap. Some guys, they'll have issues where the back cap just kind of pops off. Mine's not that case, but just a good practice. And then you reach your hand in the top the feed neck here, and you pull out the shaft here, and then you can reach your finger in and you can pull out the bolt. So we're going to put those things aside first, and then you take your body of your Mini here, and you can, I don't know if I can get it there for you, just kind of look down through there, make sure there's nothing in there. I like to take the barrel swab, go in, and I make sure it's cleaned out, and I just make sure that I'm pushing all the way through in the direction that the gun fires. That way I don't thrust anything down that could be down inside the air chambers on the inside of the gun that I don't want in there. And then I just look at it, make sure it's really clean. Not that you guys can see that really well, but pretty clean, right? And put that aside. And then for the rest of our maintenance, all we got to do is take our microfiber towel and just clean down the poppet here, the assembly that it all sits in. Make sure you don't have any crud in there, nothing left in, wedged in between the O-rings. While you're doing this, you should take a peek at your O-rings, see if you see anything that has a nick or anything like that. Mine are all pretty good. It's been rebuilt recently. I like to look down in the center here and make sure there's nothing in there. It looks pretty good. So pull that aside. We'll take the spring off. The spring is can only go on one way. I mean, it can go on both ways, but there's one particular way that it holds it on there and it stays clipped to the bolt. So you want to make sure you put that on properly when you're all done. I have an aftermarket Tech bolt, so it might be a little bit different than yours, but it'll be the same maintenance. All right, we'll make sure it's all nice and clean. It's good to go. So, and then we got to clean up my spring. It's got crap all over it. All right. So maintenance is super simple. I usually start with the bolt. I take some of my grease. Doesn't take a lot. I run it all the way down around here on the O-rings. You don't really need to do a bunch to the face, but I do a little bit to the sides here, just in case debris kind of gets down there. I'd rather stick to the front of the bolt than get down into my gun. And then I put a little bit on the finish of the bolt. Very little. This is for the same purpose as the same reason I put on the face of the bolt. That way if there's anything in there, sticks, debris, like dust and dirt, stuff that when you're playing, you don't want getting down in there. Hopefully it just kind of gets stuck on the outside of the bolt there with the grease. Take the spring. I put a tiny bit on the spring. The only real purpose here is the same thing. Just stick anything to it that might get inside the gun for some reason. And then we pop it on there. See how it just kind of goes on like that? That's not the right way. It should go on, kind of click on, and stay on. So that means I got to flip it over. Put it on. Kind of pops on. There we go. And it doesn't come out. Real easy, real simple. Put that aside. Next, we're going to lube up all the O-rings here on, I don't know, this other piece, whatever the heck it's supposed to be called. Really simple, just on the O-rings, nice simple sheen. A little bit on this shaft here, because this is the moving part inside the gun. I mean, it's the part that the bolt rides on inside the gun. And then the rest of the O-rings can just be a tiny little bit of this stuff on the O-rings themselves. They don't need to be on anything else. That way you're not putting a ton of crap inside your gun that doesn't need to be there. And then it's really easy from there. You just slide this on in the inside, pick up your gun again, make sure you line up the pinhole in the back, kind of pop it in there. It'll just kind of pop in, and then once you lube it, sometimes it'll try to pop out easily as well. So kind of put it in, hold it with your finger, take your screw that we set aside, just kind of put it on in there. These don't need to be too tight. You can strip these really easily if you're careless. It should be just snug, because once the gun's under pressure, it should be just enough that the screw shouldn't be coming out on you or anything. So just I kind of feel it, make sure there's no gap when you're done, so no gap in between here and there. And then that's pretty much it. It's maintained, ready for your next day of play. Then I'll grab an air tank usually, just to make sure that everything's working good, and I'll make sure it gets there under pressure and cycles at least once. See, we got no leaks, everything's good to go. Turn it on, turn the eyes off. Good to go. Put all my stuff away here, and if you guys have any questions, you can let me know. Comment on Facebook, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, or Facebook. Comment on the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to post some more videos for you guys if you really like it. That's pretty much it. Simple design, really easy to take care of, really good for any amateur player that's playing that wants to get into the sport and have something they don't have to worry about too much. That's all she wrote. Thanks a lot, guys.